Hi guys, I have some artwork that was out on display and just wanted to do some recognition for that and get a couple of things going. We had 10 students' art pieces that were chosen and they were on display in Archibald at the Black Swamp Arts Council, and the show that the pieces went to was the Black Swamp Arts Council High School Invitational Art Show. That was a display that was up for about 3 weeks, and we had a closing reception just last Thursday on the 10th, and just wanted to sort of highlight some of the artists and their art pieces and show a little bit of some cool stuff that we're doing in the art room.
What can you tell me about this piece?
It's just something that I had never really painted on something 3D, so I wanted to try something different. And I'm a big fan of Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks, so I kind of just used that as the theme.
What was the inspiration behind it?
The prompt was summer, and I didn't want to do like the basic sunshine and ocean theme, and I got to go to her concert this summer, so it's kind of one of those fun things that was what made my summer, I guess.
Are you happy with how it turned out?
I think mostly. There's a couple spots that, I feel like there's always room for improvement, but I feel like overall I like it, yeah.
What was it like to have your piece in the show?
It was a bit of a shock because it was something that I kind of just honestly put in the show for fun. So then hearing that I won an award for it was pretty cool.
What was the award?
I won Outstanding in the Mixed Media category.
What type of materials did you use?
I kind of used a little bit of everything. I used watercolors so that the light would still shine through in the places I wanted to. And then acrylics so that the parts I wanted to be like blank were like that. And then hand stitching for all the ribbon and everything.
Did you completely revamp this, every part of it?
Yeah, pretty much. I just went to Goodwill and bought a cheap lampshade and then covered it up, I guess.
Could you tell me about your frillies on the top and your crystals and everything?
It was just kind of something to tie it in so it wasn't boring at the top and the bottom, and it kind of just fits with I guess the aesthetic style of Fleetwood Mac.
What can you tell me about this piece?
This artwork was inspired by my childhood, and when I was little I always would go outside, I would catch cicadas and spend time collecting the shells, and I've always had them around me a lot, and I felt that as I've grown up, I've sometimes gotten more distant from that childlike carefree thing, and I felt like I personally have grown a lot as well, so I wanted to visualize me growing in something that's so close to my childhood and specific to me, and it's my growth as a person.
Are you happy with how it turned out?
I'm really happy with how it turned out. This is one of my best artworks that I've done. Usually I struggle a lot with acrylic paint, and I did struggle a lot with this one. I had to redo things multiple over and over and over again. There's so many layers of paint on this canvas, but I'm really proud of how I was able to capture the color of the cicada and make it just look like a memory of something that I've seen before.
How did you feel when it was put in the show?
I was pretty excited that I got to turn it into a show where there are other people that gets the opportunity to see it as well. I really love the Black Swamp Art Show because there's so much other cool art there, and it's one of my favorite ones to go see all the other art. And so I'm always really excited whenever I get to put anything into a show.
What awards did you get?
I got honorable mention for acrylic paint. Yeah, I was pretty excited.
And what materials did you use on this?
I use acrylic paint, so I just worked with that over and over and over again, just layering that on top of itself.
about this piece?
Well, my mom's from Maine, and loons were all over the place in Maine. It's one of her favorite birds, and she's always asked me, like, could you paint a picture for this or that? And this year she asked me to do a loon, and so I decided, like, we have a book of a bunch of different loons, and so I looked through there, and I was trying to see all this stuff, and I was looking at all the different pictures, and this one really, like, the reference picture that I used for this really caught my eye because I really liked how the baby was looking up to its mother while its mother had a worried expression looking off. So for me, it kind of represented like a mother's watch over her child, but the child being blissful and not knowing like the actual anxieties of a mother. So
Are you happy with how it turned out?
I was pretty happy with how it turned out. I struggle every once in a while with blending charcoal and getting it like a smooth blend, but I felt like after a few retries on certain areas, I was able to get it close to where I wanted it to be. And I was pretty happy with how the looseness of the background with the colors went. So
Is charcoal like the only material you used for this?
I used charcoal, and for the color part, it's like a colored charcoal, like a chalk.
Pastel.
Yeah, chalk pastel that I scratched off into a powder, and then I mixed it with water to make it so that it would blend more with it than watercolor would.
How did you feel when it was put in the show?
I was pretty excited for this one to get put in the show because I made it to enter into another competition that I didn't do so well in. So I was glad that it would have a second opportunity to be actually like exhibited, and I was very happy about that.
What can you tell me about this piece?
This is a photograph I took for art in the fall. The prompt was just like themes of fall, and I think it fits it because like when I think of fall, I think of coffee.
Are you happy with how it turned out?
Yeah, I am. For taking it on an iPhone, I think it turned out well.
How did you feel when it was put in the show?
I was a little surprised because I found out pretty quick before it was put in.
What did you use? You already said, but
I took a photo on my iPhone.
what can you tell me about this piece?
I don't know. I didn't really have a plan when making it. I just kind of did it. He said that we were supposed to do like independent, just things, whatever. I didn't expect it to get very far. I just kind of made it.
What was the inspiration behind it?
This is based off of Jurassic World because it's just a cool. I found it, read the picture, thought it'd be fun to do.
How did you feel when it was put in the show?
It was kind of weird. Like, really, you're putting that in the show? I didn't expect that. But.
What materials did you use on it?
I use colored pencils.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about it?
No, I can't think of anything. Sorry.
What can you tell me about this piece?
It was really enjoyable to make, that's one thing, and I thought it was just like a cool way to use like a different art form or style kind of than I'm used to. I don't know, I thought it was cool.
What was the inspiration behind it?
It's kind of just about the architecture of the front of the building, and I just wanted to make sure I could use or capture the different lighting in that picture that I took.
Are you happy with how it turned out?
Yeah, I think it's cool. I like
How
it.
did you feel when it was put in the show?
I mean, it's an honor that it was chosen, I guess. It's kind of cool that other people will be able to see what I work on at school. So I don't know. That's how I feel.
And what materials did you use?
Acrylic paint. Canvas.
Is there anything else you want to tell us about it, or?
No, I don't think so. I think that's all.
What can you tell me about this piece?
That I printed a truck and flowers, and we used a linoleum block print to print onto it.
What was the inspiration behind it?
I just really love trucks and flowers, and so I just created them to be one.
How did you feel when it was put in the show?
Felt very honored. I thought it was cool making it, so I mean, I'm glad that it could be showed to everyone else.
What materials did you use?
We used inking paint, and then we used a linoleum block, and then we carved out the shape that I wanted to make.
Anything else you want to tell us about it?
Just very grateful that it got chosen.
What was the inspiration?
My family has a cabin in Canada, and I guess the inspiration kind of came from our cabin in the woods. And I love bears.
Are you happy with how it turned out?
For the most part, it's a little darker than I wanted it to be, but
How did you feel when it was put in the show?
I felt a little surprised since I wasn't here the day he chose to put it in there.
What materials did you use?
I used wood and a wood burner.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about it?
No.
What can you tell me about this piece?
It's a sculpture of Oscar the Grouch.
What was the inspiration behind it?
I make characters a lot for like art, so I just wanted to do another one.
Are you happy with how it turned out?
Yeah, I think I could have cleaned it up a little bit more, but that's about it.
How did you feel when it was put in the show?
I was surprised, I guess. Yeah.
And what materials did you use?
There was craft tape, poster board, paper towels, glue, and paint.
Is there anything else you want to say
No.
about it?
Hey, coming up in May, on Thursday, May 8th, we have our district art show. So we'll have artwork from all of our students in the district, kindergarten through seniors, and we'll be displaying all of that artwork for one night on display in the gym at the high school. That's May 8th, and it is from 5 to 8. Come out and see all the great art that is done throughout the district.